So I'm gonna tell you about a situation where I was dating this guy, right? And how he tried to love bomb me. Okay. So I was dating this guy, right? Met him on POF. Now I have special relationship with POF, okay? Like that's hence the whole movie 40 Dates and 30 Nights that's coming out. Okay. But this guy wasn't one of the 40 dates. This was like when I had like chilled. I wasn't, serial dating anymore. And I met this guy. He was an African guy. He was actually the first African I've ever dated. And and I'm not gonna, gosh, I gotta think of a name. I was about to say his name. I'm not gonna say his name. We're gonna call him Paul. Okay. So Paul, he was a nice looking guy. I kind of feel like he hat fished me because like all of his photos he had on a hat. I didn't really like how he looked without the hat, but anyway, that's not part of the story. Anyway, Paul was a really, really, really nice guy, like very romantic. Um, we met on the dating site. We immediately like hit it off. We, conversing, text, phone calls. Like he spoke French, so he had this like real like sexy accent. Um, we talked for hours and he was just like, oh, he was just like infatuated with me, like just from phone calls, right? He was like, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful and I just can't wait to meet you and spoil you and da 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 da. Right. And so from the beginning, he gave me a little bit about his history, but not much. Like he said that he had been married before and that that is a story that he thought was so funny that his ex-wife, he caught her cheating on him. And the way he caught her was like he came home one day and there were shoes sitting in the foyer. And the shoes were like a size 8 and in men. So this dude had small feet, right? And so he's like, the shoes were size 8, and I wear a 14. So I knew it could not be me. I bust into the bedroom and oh my God, my wife is cheating on me. And so, like, so I'm like, oh, okay, wow, that's horrible that you caught your wife cheating on you like that, right? So anyway, so so obviously he hadn't healed from that. But anyway, so all I knew is he had that ex-wife. He had a daughter, not with the ex-wife, with another lady. The other lady, like I think she was also African. And I don't know, he had to like go to court to get custody. I mean, not custody, to get visitation with his daughter. So he was like very close to his daughter. Like, okay, cool, you're a family man, good guy, everything's great. First date, he pulls out all the stops. Okay. This was probably like one of the most expensive dates that I had been on. So I was like already impressed. Like we went to, I think it was one-on-one steak. And I mean, he had roses for me. I couldn't even eat all the food. He was like ordering everything, appetizers and, and wine. And he didn't drink, which I thought that was strange. But anyway, he just didn't drink. So he had, we had a great time. Like I ate good. Like I don't even know what the bill was. Only reason I know that he spent a lot of money is because I went back to that same restaurant. Me and my girlfriends went, and my bill by myself was like $300. So I was like, I wonder how much did he spend? Like I didn't even know like cost that much. Whatever. So anyway, so had a great first date. I mean, we're taking photos, like everyone's telling us, oh my God, you all look so good together. You look so good together. And he's like reading me poetry and he's just like in French and like, Mademoiselle, whatever. And so I was like, oh man, like I really like this guy. Oh, I got me one, right? And so every single date was elaborate like that. Every single day. We went out every other Friday or Saturday, whenever he didn't have his daughter, and every date was like over the top. Like, I mean, he would like just pick restaurants that I didn't even know existed, whether we were like on the top of the Hyatt Hotel, the spinning restaurant, the Mediterranean restaurant, like just over the top. Like he just didn't care. Like he didn't spare no expenses, right? He would come to my job and bring me flowers every Friday. He came to my job and brought me flowers. Okay. I think I had only been dating him. I think I went on one date with him. And then by the next, I think it was like the next, that same weekend was like Super Bowl. Ah, shoot. That was the same Super Bowl that the Falcons lost. Okay. So I met him, like we went on our date on Friday. That Sunday, he was like, I got to see you. I got to see you. I want, like, I just need to see you. I can't wait another week. So he like came to our little Super Bowl party, met all my friends, hung out with us. And from then on, he was my boyfriend. Like, I don't even remember him asking me. He just made me his girlfriend, right? And so it was like, I was like still trying to get to know him. I was like, I don't even really know if I like him yet, but he's doing all these things. Like he's buying me flowers, he's taking me on these elaborate dates, calling me all the time. Like he would never let me drive anywhere. He would always come pick me up. And I at first I thought that was like very, chivalrous of him, right? So I had noticed it had been like months and I had never been to his house. And so I was just like, I don't know, I think I was telling my aunt, I was telling someone about him. And then I was like, yeah, but I've never been to his house. And then she was like, you need to go to his house. Like, you need to see how he's living. I was like, well, yeah, it just works out that way. Like, he just always comes to get me. Um, there were even times that, like, I think there was one weekend that, like, my kids were gone. So he had stayed with me. But I just, I never paid attention to it. And so I think there was one point his daughter said, so I think I asked his daughter something about, oh, like, what are you all doing this weekend? And she's like, oh, we're going to stay at Mr. Mr. Mike's house. I'm like, you going to stay at Mr. Mike's house? Okay. I'm not paying no attention to her. She's like 5 years old. I'm like, no, what's she talking about? So fast forward to this particular date. I asked him, I said, kind of same thing I did with old boy. I was like, you know what? We're getting ready to go out. And I was like, you know what? How about I just come to your house and we can, I can park my car there and then we can go out and then we can just, chill at your house afterwards. Oh no, no, you cannot come to my house. Absolutely not. And I'm like, why? He's like, oh no, no, no. I'm coming to pick you up. Where are you? Where are you? No, I'm like, what do you mean? Where am I? Like, I'm just no, I'm coming to your house. Why can't I come to your house? Oh no. And then so like he just trying to talk me out of it, right? He's just like, well, then if you don't want to go, then that's fine. We don't have to go. Just say it. And I was like, no, I want to go. Like, but I feel like I just want to chill at your house tonight. I don't want to come all the way back here. And don't you live, in Decatur or something? Yeah, that's like closer. We can just go to dinner and go to the concert and then we'll just come back to your house. Oh no, absolutely not. Okay, well, why? I was like, you got to give me a good reason. Why can't I come to your house? Would you live with a woman? Like what? Like what is it? No, of course I don't live with a woman. What are you talking about? I would never do that to you. And I'm like, well, why can't I come to your house? This motherfucker. He gonna say, well, my friend Mike is staying with me, and Mike, Mike's wife put him and his daughter out, and so he's been sleeping on my couch. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. First of all, what the fuck that got to do with anything? If Mike is sleeping on your couch, so the fuck what? Like, and it's your house. So you can't have, so like, what do you mean I can't come to your house? Well, no, I just think it would make him feel uncomfortable. I don't want to have anybody over and then make him feel uncomfortable. And him and his daughter has been staying with me. And I'm like, some motherfucker. Like, I'm thinking to myself, that's a motherfucking lie. Because First of all, what woman's gonna put out the child and the husband? What woman would do that? Like, I don't know what, like, you and the baby gotta go. Really? That don't make sense. And even if he was staying at your house, like, okay, so I can't come to your house and just, drop out my car, see where you live, meet him, and then we go on our date. It just didn't make sense to me. And so he wouldn't give me the address. I just kept saying, just send the address, just send the address. He would not give me the address. He like basically like picked a fight with me. And so I was just like, okay, well, if I can't come to your house, then I don't feel like going out. I'm done. I'm tired. I can't believe you. I can't believe you're making a big deal. I can't believe you're doing this. That doesn't make any sense. You're causing problems. There's no problems. And I was just like, nah, that's just weird to me. Like, I don't feel like it now. So I'm like done. And so so like that Sunday was like Easter Sunday. And so I was supposed to go to church with him. He was Catholic. So I was going to go to church with him. Do you know he uninvited me from church? Like, wait, I'm sorry. Well, I almost fell. He was so mad that I don't know, or I don't know if because he was mad or because he thought he was about to get busted, but he uninvited me from church. I was like, do your pastor know you uninvited people on Easter Sunday to church? I was done. I was like, it's something up. So I just like, did I block him? I don't remember what happened. Like, but we didn't talk for a couple days, right? And just so happened that a friend of mine, well, I actually happened to be my ex-husband. Well, ex-husband had somebody that could run background checks, right? So he was like, well, give me his name and like where he lived, or let's just see what's up. So he runs a background check. Why is his last known address actually his baby mama's house down the street from me? You heard me right. His last known address where his car was registered, like everything was registered to this address that was down the street from me. But he had me thinking he was driving way to Stone Mountain somewhere every time he came to pick me up. Like, I used to feel like, oh my God, he's such a great guy. Like, he will drive, like, it didn't matter like where I was, he would drive, he would always come get me. He would come pick me up from work. He would come, he would do all these things. Like, I was like, oh my God, I thought that was so great. This fool coming from around the corner. I was like, and the only reason I knew that it was his baby mama's house because I remember him telling me that she lived, not too far from me. Hey, bro, what's up? And so I remember him telling me that she didn't live too far from me. And so I was just like, so something told me just roll by there. Like, I just had to roll by there. I had to see. I got the address. Let me go see. So I rolls by the house. And sure enough, I see the daughter and the baby mama come out. Like, I think they were getting a car or whatever. His car wasn't there, but who knows? Like, I don't know. He could have been at work or something. So I was like, I just started putting two and two together. I saw that he had been put out of his house. Like he had like on his credit where some apartment that he lived in, he was evicted. So he had an eviction on his credit. So what I put together was that he maybe had, broken up with maybe he had lost his place, was living with the baby mama. They broke up or something. And then he ended up staying on his friend's couch. So when his daughter said, oh, we're going to Mr. Mike's house. Yeah, they were sleeping on Mr. Mike's couch. That made more sense. You know what I'm saying? And then I just like thought about it, like that's how he could spend all this money on these elaborate dates. He don't have to pay no bills. Like, you don't have a house. So I just feel like he was going to try to just keep on love bombing me until he got to the point where he could move in. And it was like, I was like, it was just all clear, but it was like all, it was like hindsight. Like, I had no idea. Like, I had no idea that, he was even like, I didn't even go as far as to see, like, you know what I'm saying, had he been was he still with the ex-girlfriend, the baby mama? But it was just like, I saw enough. Once I saw that he did not live where he said he lived, and his last known address was the baby mama house, I was done. I was done. So for me, at this point in my life, I don't collect red flags. Like, I see them and I'm out. Oftentimes, like, you gotta, like, I know, like, relationships, there's ups and there's downs, and and if you're gonna commit to somebody, like, you gotta, give it time and build. But yeah, so it's like oftentimes, like, you get into a relationship, and you want to give the person the benefit of doubt and get to know them and all that. But I'm not collecting red flags. So when I see them, I'm usually gone. You might get a sandwich. I don't know. Lately, I've just kind of just been like, deuces. I don't even say nothing. Like, God just been kind of removing them out of my life. I ain't gotta say nothing. But that's where I'm at. Yes, the couch. Like, you're sleeping, like, you a grown man in your 40s, don't have a place to live, but you spending all your money taking me out on dates and buying me flowers and all these things. Like, I was done. I was done.